Hello, Winging It is a show by Oddbird about web design development and our approach to solving problems. On today's show, I have Miriam. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing okay, thank you. And I have this show playing in another browser tab somewhere. I'm going to go figure that out, but today we will be talking about browser tools, inspectors, seeing the differences, seeing what hidden gems we might find. Okay, found the tab. That was a little much hearing me continually talking to me. I had to grab the link though to post about it
Right.
a few minutes ago. I don't recommend having that open while you are also talking. So we have a lot of different like CSS features we want to go over today, and we're going to look at how maybe the different browser makers handle some of these differently to see maybe which one is best. I think it's going to end up being different browsers are good for different things, and you might have to constantly switch back and forth. But we're going to start with Flexbox Inspector. Miriam, do you want to dive in first and show us?
Oh, sure. I've just been looking for some good things to inspect. Let me share my screen. Yeah, part of why we wanted to do this was because we each had various things that we switch browsers to inspect. Let's see, I want to share the entire window here, or the screen. I want to share the screen so I can jump between browsers.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to add it to stage. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll say, like, anytime anyone, if you're watching live, let us know if we're missing anything or if there's something you want us to check out.
Yeah, and also if I've missed that some of these have, like when we were starting to compile our list and look at things, we found like I thought the animation inspector was just in one browser, and that's not true. Yeah. It's everywhere now. And there's a bunch like that have showed up in other browsers. So if I'm wrong, if we're wrong about some of these, point us to where they have made the jump to other browsers. But Flexbox is sort of my core example of I just regularly come to Firefox when I want to know what is happening in a Flexbox situation, because I can go to layout and it shows me all of the details of how we got to a specific size for a specific element. So this is saying that the content size is just over 91 pixels. The minimum size is that same content size. And then we have flex shrink 1, and we've shrunk 24.53 pixels, right? It tells us all this information about how we got to that final size. And as I resize here, it's changing. And we could also change how the flex is set up on these elements. So flex 1, this is, let's give some longer content in this one. And then we also gave it that flex 1, which is a little different, or flex auto. What are the various? All right. Well, I should go here and find out, right? So here's saying I've got flex shrink 1. It's shrinking a little bit farther because the content size was larger. Do these all have? This one should also flex grow, but it probably isn't because we've got just too many things in here. Can I not select multiple of them? Let's do that. Now we can see it flex growing. No. Content size. What did I do?
Well, there's a max
Flex.
width on it.
Oh, there is a max width on it.
Yeah.
There we go. So that was actually showing in there, right?
Where did I see that?
Maximum
right there.
size, max width 200 pixels. So the Flex Inspector, if I had paid closer attention, was telling me exactly why we weren't growing. But here we are, and we can see by how much. And then here we can see that we shrank, but there's a minimum size. The item was clamped to its minimum size.
What happens if you toggle that mystery toggle on the top right? What does that do?
Mystery toggle. Yeah, toggle Flexbox highlighter. So that's turning on the container. It's the same as this.
Okay.
Toggle.
Got it.
Yeah, there's some interesting things that you can do with Flexbox. This is my band's website, and we use this trick of like less than 1 flex values on the before. Yeah, we're at flex 0.7. And so it should expand. Do I have to... So I wonder why here on a before element, it won't show me the usual Flexbox stuff. Or maybe no, it's the after here that's doing it. Right, so it starts from 0 and it has a flex of less than 1, and so it expands into that space, but not the whole way. Anyway, I don't know. I like this Flex Inspector, and I don't think that it's appeared in other browsers. If I took this and what am I in now? Safari? Am I going to find... It's still going to give me this chiclet here. I can turn that on and off. But yeah, under Flexbox, I don't get quite the same amount of detail here. And I think the same is true in Chromium browsers. They're not going to give me quite as much.
I have to admit, I don't think I've used the Flex panel that much. And maybe it's... maybe I'm not doing complicated things, but...
yeah.
Or it's been so long, and these tools may have been added since I first started learning about Flexbox.
Yeah, or sometimes I just don't even know that a tool has showed up in a browser, or if it's not like in a place where I've looked. But yeah, that's one that I jump over to Firefox for pretty regularly because it hasn't showed up anywhere else.
I would probably subscribe to a very narrow feed or newsletter if it told me all the tools specifically that I would use. Only like CSS, maybe some markup, very specific set of tools. Because I do sometimes read the change logs when they come out. When the browser has been updated, I will go check out like what's new here. And sometimes you'll have like an experimental flag turned on. So I sometimes never know what's actually available for everyone or if it's just behind the flag. And I guess that's more CSS features, but it would be cool to have some sort of news feed if something comes up. And I'm like, oh, nice.
I agree. That would be an interesting... I mean, you could even just do a general newsletter that if there's not something new, covers old things that you might not have played with.
There's so many, like the Flex Inspector. Yeah,
I think some of the browsers have their own individual ones, but yeah, a sort of collated, here's across browsers, what's showing up in DevTools. That'd be really interesting. And yeah, you mentioned that things you use specifically. One person on, I think, Blue Sky mentioned cross-origin controls in Safari, and that's something that I don't think either of us knows how to demo.
No, I've never known I needed that. So
Yeah.
I haven't even looked into that, but
So we're sort of both focused on HTML, CSS stuff, and occasionally
and
that.
some errors in the console.
Yeah.
Like I'll go check that out. But if something new was added there, I wouldn't notice, I don't think.
Yep. Same.
But I did see when I think the changes panel first was released in either Chrome or Firefox, that I did read that in the changelog, and maybe that was one of the first times, and I was like, I should read these more, because that's an amazing panel that I will be using.
Right.
And then most of the time I'll just stumble upon the tool, especially if it's right there in front of me. Like when the grid inspector came in all browsers, it was amazing and it was really obvious. But some of these less obvious tools that you wouldn't even know exist unless you are inspecting a very specific part of CSS, like the shapes editor. Like you would probably stumble upon that or find that after doing a search because you didn't know how to edit your polygon in the correct way. So
right.
Yeah, I would definitely love to know a bit more about some of these hidden tools. Do we want to, while we're looking at Flexbox, should we look at some of the grid tools?
Oh, sure.
I don't think we have that in our list here, but I can.
Is there's yeah.
I can show. Yeah, let's see here.
Are there particular grid tools? In my mind, grid tools are pretty similar across the browsers.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But
are there
particular things that you?
I will pull up what I typically do, and we'll see how the tool behaves. So on OddSite, we have a or I should say oddbird.net. We refer to it internally as OddSite. We have a pretty cool grid system, which allows us to basically, if we have just a narrow content column, because we want the line length to be something that you can read easily, but we want to sometimes break out a little wider or a little wider. So we have set up this grid so we can tell whatever element we're putting in the grid, like which grid line to extend to. But if you take a look at, well, that's more of a variable thing. But if I have the grid highlighted here, is this in every browser? I think this is in at least 2 of them, which is just your alignment tools. And I don't think anything will happen.
You're in Chrome right now?
I'm in Chrome right now.
I'll pull up Firefox and take a look.
All right. So you could change the alignment. I'm not even really looking at these because I'm trying to talk, but I'm sure if you had a much more simple grid, then things would be happening there. But let's see. When we go over to layout, the things that I tend to toggle the grid tools the most is I almost never need the measurements of columns, but if I'm using some interesting calculation of a few different either variables or units, then sometimes it's nice to know. But I almost always use it for the grid area names, which we don't have in this example, but it's really nice if you have a grid and everything has a specific area name to see where those are, like what area is shown. It will tell you like this is the aside and this is actually we probably do it on the body. Yeah, so here's our alert area and here's our banner and main. And I know they're really tiny on the screen share, but they can come in very handy, especially if you're doing like sort of small little demo or a little thing that has a lot of different areas. But I think that is probably how it is in every browser.
Yeah, I think you can show the names, line numbers, areas, all that in all of them. But I don't see that sort of alignment stuff showing up in the other browsers. That little toggle that you pulled up. that seems to be
Would it be, yeah, not even where we
Chromium
are
specific.
using aligning. Oof, all right. Okay, so we use line names here. That wasn't on Chrome, right? It was just
Well,
grid
you should be able
area
to turn
names.
you should be able to turn them on and off, the different ones. I think they all
But I didn't think I
they all
saw that
allow you to
here.
do that.
Track size. Oh, it's because I probably have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have it turned on.
Oh, you have to
My
toggle
bad.
between what the lines,
Oh,
how the
only
lines are
one or
labeled.
the other.
Yeah.
Names all the way. It's just more reusable.
Yeah, well, we're particularly into using line names and area names. We do that on all of our grids.
Yes.
I imagine people that aren't setting up names for things would use the line numbers there. Yeah, that's interesting that you can change which, because you can show
Color the
multiple
highlight
grids at
is.
once, so then you can
Yeah.
change the highlighting.
What's the settings here? Oh, no. I don't want to turn any of it off. I think that's also in, I think, every browser to change the grid lines. Let's just, for continuity, pull over Firefox here and look at layout. Where's my stuff at? Oh, just the checkboxes on the bottom. Ooh,
Right.
Firefox, can I put in a suggestion to put these at the top? Because if you have all these, it takes a while to scroll down to actually get to what you want.
Yeah, or a way of
I want my
collapsing them.
settings at the top. Is there maybe? No.
No.
Bummer.
That could
Okay,
help.
that's my request. Is this Firefox specific? Is it highlighted on the page? That's kind of neat. Probably not very visible on the screen. All right. So those are your grid tools. And you said that alignment was only in Chrome.
Yeah. Yeah, that little alignment toggle that you were playing with.
Yeah, bummer. All right. That's a good feature. I've definitely used that before. What's next?
I was going to show, so Polypane has a lot of extra tools, and I am not an expert on all of them. I enjoy jumping over to Polypane sometimes, but don't always remember to, and I could probably get a lot more out of it. But there's one thing that I always remember to jump to Polypane for, and that's meta information. So this is the panel that I come over to Polypane for all the time. I recently discovered that I can...
Oh, hang on. Let me share it. Okay.
Okay. I recently discovered that I can increase the text size of the panel from here. So,
nice.
Okay.
Because I inevitably always hit Command plus over the wrong panel. So always...
Yeah, and Command plus in the panel doesn't work in Polypane. So for the longest time, I thought the text was just tiny and I couldn't do anything about it. And then I found that view adjust text size. So here we are. This is just our POETIC CSS course page. But before we launched this page, I came in here to make sure that all the metadata was in place. So it shows warnings if you don't have a title and description, or you're missing a doc type, or any of these things that are important. Theme colors. It says we're missing a robots.txt. So that might be something we want to
add robots.txt to courses.
It also does this thing where it shows you your current order of things in the head. And how you might want to rearrange them for more performant loading. I thought that was pretty clever. I think there were a few of the things that I decided couldn't actually be moved around for some reason. But also maybe some of these we could improve on. We should move the title earlier. So
I love that.
yeah, I like that a lot. And then also social media cards.
This would be so helpful.
Came through here to make sure that all of the social media metadata was in place and working correctly. And this was just
this would be so
helpful.
much easier than what I do, which is go and post a post on all of those platforms and say it's only for me. So, and then I go and delete it. Wow. Yeah, I'm a big fan of all
there's
this.
So much information in here, like what fonts are being preloaded, all of that. So yeah, highly recommend checking that out and using Polypane. And then they have a lot of, I mean, it's interesting. Polypane is built on top of Chromium. I don't know why these are sort of
squishy,
squished together right now. I think because of the way I increased the text size, maybe too much. I don't know.
Or we have too many shown at once or something.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'd rather the text be large enough to see than know the tab name.
But they've got sort of a lot of the basic ones that you would expect, including like, here's just Chrome's dev tools. You can just open that up and work within Chrome's dev tools as they are, but then you can also access all these other tools, like an outliner that, oh, I want to play with that more. I didn't know that was there. That's fun. I like thinking about the outline of a page. So
yeah, and that could also help just give you a accessibility overview too.
Exactly. And there is an accessibility panel that will show you more.
Can you scroll down the page? I keep looking at the video and I'm like, oh no, her video froze. Okay, because your still image was up there. Okay, this is better. Thanks.
Yeah, so I like seeing this like outline of the headings.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
What are my landmarks?
It's usually an extension for me, so that's nice that it's built right in here.
Yeah. Pull up all the links. I think that some of these features should 404.
Be... Sorry. That's a good one. It tells you what link is 404ing. Is that just because you have to sign in? Like if you weren't...
I don't know.
It
went to it.
Yeah. Huh. Sorry. Carry on.
I wonder what it's trying to load. Yeah. Don't know. Mm-hmm. I always think that these things, like getting the headings, the landmarks, and the links and all that, these shouldn't be dev tools. These should be main primary tools for navigating websites. I wish browsers would put these front and center and say, here's a summary outline of the page. Jump to where you want to go. Like, table of contents shouldn't be something that I provide on my page. It should be something that the browser provides. Anyway, that's my rant.
I agree.
Oh, duplicate header. It's calling that out. Yeah, that's useful because we've got this block repeated. Yeah. So that's some of the things I jumped to Polypane for.
I feel like we should always do our reviews in Polypane. Like we might catch a lot of things that we may have missed if we didn't. That is very useful.
Yeah. For that course website, I pulled it up before launch and sort of did a final launch checklist, just going through.
Yeah, I'm a fan there. All right, let's take a look at how the different browsers treat custom properties. All right, so that previous example, our grid, we can take a look at where am I? I'm in Firefox at the moment. I think all browsers will have a little like jump to where that property is defined, but then you can never get back. You have to scroll forever. But what I think is different about Firefox, I don't think the other ones do this. When I go to inspect what page columns is. Usually it will give me one of these two values. I think the computed value is more common, but I do like how Firefox gives you both of like what it actually ends up being and what, if we've used variables again in your definition, like what that original equation or however you want to say declaration looks like. That's one thing I've noticed. That's
and then that little
different.
button next to it, is that like a go-to?
That is a jump to. So it's going to zoom me down.
That's nice.
To the original definition.
And you can sort of jump, if you've got multiple, like you do here, you could go to the page margin and jump to that.
Right. When we first started using custom properties, I look at Miriam, I'm like, how do you find anything? Because I don't think that jump to button was there. I'm like, we have so many variables on the site, especially with all the color stuff we're doing here. I'm like, all these color things. I'm like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to find anything. So I think that jump to has really saved me, and I don't care how many variables.
That's really useful. Also, the filter styles, and I think that's in every browser, but I use that all the time to just be like, no, I'm looking for one thing. I'm looking for where the display is set. I'm looking for where the
font, whatever.
Exactly.
Font family. Yeah, I'm always.
Show me.
I rarely use the filter button though. I almost always just type it in.
Yeah, same.
I don't know if it's always shown, but the Command F, great. As long as this pane is highlighted, will work. Yeah, that will focus there. Yep. Also a big fan of that. All right, let's take a look. This is Safari, and on our custom properties, it won't show enough because we have so many. Let me make this panel larger.
I think this is one of my main complaints about every single dev tool is like there's 4 different panels that you can pull up different things, and it's hard to know which things are going to be in which panels, and it's hard to maintain, like, get the panel you want to be the right size.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be some easier way of handling this that's not like, I don't know, you have come up with some arbitrary system for what goes in which panels, and I have to find it.
Yeah. Okay, so Safari only does computed and no jump. I thought there was a jump.
There's no jump too.
Not that I'm stumbling upon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no jump to the spacer. Is there one like sometimes they're undefined. I'm curious what that shows. And we won't find out now. Maybe that's homework for later. Okay, let's take a look at, I think, is Chrome the last one? Oh no. And still not big enough. All right, so we're getting computed value. Where's my inspect? And then I want this header. So page columns, no jump to. Is that only Firefox? Oh no, it is a link. Okay, that's why. So Safari looked the same because it didn't have an icon, but it wasn't a link. Now Chrome, the variable itself is a link. If you hover over it, you'll get the computed value. And then if you click on it, you zoom there. Actually, I think it just reloads you here. You don't like animate down. And it keeps going. So slight differences with how variables are treated among the 3 browsers there. What's next? I think animations. Did you want to show anything with that, or did we find anything that we could actually test the difference with animations? Oh, you're muted.
Animations turned out to be available everywhere, although there was one thing that was interesting that James pointed out, that Chrome lets you inspect the view transition pseudo elements created by a view transition animation. So let's see if I have something where we can see that. And then I also have clip paths here ready to share.
Okay.
So, all right. The animation panel here, I was just playing with something that had sort of more animation going on.
Nice.
But it lets you, make adjustments to things. So I can stretch out how one of those animations is happening, and then go through the timeline. So that's the basics of the animation panel, and that's available in all of the browsers. But I think we do have view transitions across pages on this site. So I hit pause in the animation panel, and then I'm going to go to a different page, and it doesn't go to it. It's still showing me the old page until I can open that animation. Let's see. Which one of these? There we go. There's the view transitions happening. And I can see it doing the shift between pages. And I can even see here the pseudo element that was created with the old and new. And when I focus on those, they highlight down in the animations panel as well, which animation is related to which. I can adjust the timing on those.
That's really neat.
And play with my view transition. So yeah, I think that's a cool little feature I didn't know about before today.
No, I've never used this. I've also probably not used it because it's on the bottom bar. Is there a name for that compared to the one that is currently on top? And why are
in
the bottom? Because I probably use that top bar 95% of the time. If I don't have to look at the console, that's the only thing that's really on the bottom for me mostly.
Yeah. I spent a few minutes looking for this and being like, where's animations? And finally James was like, oh, it's beside console instead of being beside layout. Like, who made that decision? And how am I supposed to think about it?
Yeah.
There must be some logic to it in the minds of the browser engineers, but probably. I want to know what that logic is so that I stop getting lost.
Yeah, so your mental model is like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
If we have any browser engineers in the chat, let us know.
Yeah, that would be great.
The other thing I wanted to look at here was like clip paths, or anytime you're using shapes. I go to Firefox for this, and maybe I'm out of date. Maybe there's some...
Nope.
Okay.
I think great. You are up to date.
And I have this basic polygon that is just the rectangle, but it's from 0, 0 to 100, 0 to 100, 100 to 0, 100. And I will just paste that in. When I need to create a shape, I'll just paste that in, and then I'll come into Firefox and I'll click that little icon, and there it's showing me that rectangle. And I can drag any of the handles to where I want them. And I can also double click on a line to create a new handle and create the shape that I want. And I can see here it's been created. And I can go in and edit little bits of it there if I want to adjust exactly how it's thinking about them, whether it's using pixels or percentages or some calc or something else.
You double click to remove one of the...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If you made a mistake. Yeah.
Perfect. Right. And then I can just say, yeah, well, I got my clip path. Now I'm just going to copy it and paste that into the shape outside. And now both of them match. maybe I would create a variable, whatever, but I just almost never write polygons by hand. I
don't know
write a rectangle polygon.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I do it because I know the calcs that I want. I know I want calc 100% minus some variable or whatever, but often I'll just come in here to do it. So yeah, a good one for Firefox.
Yeah. Can you open this in Chrome? Because I think Chrome has some, right? Or
does it? Get back to it.
I should have looked while you were talking.
So, whoops.
Actually, let me look.
Take that. If I inspect the image.
Oh, no, they just list it. I thought they had some tool. They just list the polygon.
Yeah, it's just listed there. Like, I think in all the browsers, you can do this sort of up and down. Maybe not all of them, but you can mess with a polygon by being on a number and pressing the up or down arrows.
Yeah.
But that's not nearly as useful in my mind. So yeah, I go to Firefox for that one.
It is interesting. We have a few comments here. We have James.
We have an Oddbird contributor to Firefox DevTools. That's fun.
Yeah. I didn't see his name first when I read the comment. And then when I clicked the second one, which I knew was James, I clicked the first one, but then his name came up. I was like, oh no, it showed me the wrong one. But I guess James did both comments.
Yeah, I think
a very long-lasting tool that is supporting a browser that has grown organically in response.
Yeah, you're
to
talking
Firefox DevTools, like where things are
in the DevTools,
in the top or bottom or whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing that was in relation to.
Yeah,
and then
Polypane has had a chance to rethink it.
Oh, so does Polypane not have that top and bottom bar, or is it just different? Like everything's on together on the side?
All of the Polypane things are in one long bar with a more, so you can always get to things that don't fit. Yeah, there's no multiple. There might be a way to create multiple panes. I don't know, but I don't see it.
And I wonder if there's settings, because I know you can choose what you want to show and not show before that, like more bar. I wonder if there's also a way to like say it should go on the top panel instead. We can look into
they
this
have an
later.
add pane button, or that might be Polypane. When they're talking about a pane, they're probably talking about the window panes for viewing your site as you work. I think one of the reasons that I don't think to go to Polypane often is because I don't often work in that view with multiple windows showing different sizes all at the same time. I tend to work on responsive sites sort of one size at a time, working through them, and then resizing, doing a lot of resizing. But yeah,
I can see it being useful to kind of always have open if you have an external monitor, and so it's not taking up
the
most space. All right, let's scroll down here so I don't get confused at you're still
the frozen video.
Yeah. Let's look at the font explorers in some of these browsers.
Oh, yeah.
So is this yeah, I'm gonna move this over here. We are in Chrome. That's probably the one with the least amount of demo that we'd like to. All right, get rid of that and then go. Actually, there's almost nothing to show. Where's our font family? Probably on body.
Yeah, I think it's on body.
Actually, let's do this. Font-F. And then I get so many variables. Okay, let's spell it out a little more.
It might be on HTML.
Yeah.
No, there it is.
So here's our font family, but is there no
It's in the more.
panel?
Yeah,
Of the top one? No.
Where is the font panel? Which browser are you in? You're in
This is Chrome.
Chrome.
Is there maybe nothing in Chrome?
It's
or
in
am I just not
the same,
showing it?
It's in that one with layout and styles.
Not for
Should be
me.
there. Interesting.
I wonder if I don't have it on because it wasn't.
I'm seeing it in Vivaldi, which I think just uses the normal Chrome Dev tools. More tools. Ah, there you go.
Where is it?
No. There you don't go.
No. I thought it was somewhere, not just computed.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing it.
Properties? No, we just went there. I thought I saw this even before we started recording. Okay, well, maybe we'll come back to that. But
yeah, I have it up here in Vivaldi if you want to switch over after showing it in Firefox.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. All right, I'm gonna scroll down again. So here, I already have our H1 selected. Oh, dang it, that's up here. And we're using Frigga variable as our typeface. And the Firefox panel has a lot we can do. We're using a custom weight. If someone could explain how this typeface, its heaviest weight is 215, that would be great, because if it falls back, if the typeface doesn't load and you want the fallback font weight to match, 215 is extremely thin on any other typeface. So if it tries to go to the closest match, 300, 400, whatever, but you get that the jump is worse. So if I'll put a call out, if anyone knows who made this typeface or how we can solve for that,
I think we know who. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we know who made it, but like if you know who made it, like if you know the person,
if you know them,
reach out and say we'd like to suggest a different way to do this. But yeah, you have a lot of tools here. Even if I don't think it doesn't have to be a variable, right? But you do get the variable access if it is a variable.
Mm-hmm. And then you also get all fonts on page down below.
Mm-hmm. Whatever that is, the bullet font. That's probably a browser agent, user agent, or browser agent. And then the variable has the italic and the regular, and then
fallback.
This is not. Oh, this is a fallback because.
Or I wonder if that's coming in on like one of the frames. Does it show you where it's used on the page? Is there some
don't
maybe not
see where it would be. It's probably as my fallback though. When I think I used a serif, so maybe it's only.
I could imagine it being part of the video iframe or something.
Yeah. Because I think I use the serif for this when it falls back on. Oh, we should do something about that highlight color.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Hey Siri, remind me to fix the highlight color on the gradient text. Okay, but yeah, so I think Firefox has a fabulous font panel. Safari's is there. Let me just grab this URL. Ugh. And we will go Now, I think Safari and Firefox also tell you which typeface is being used, and Chrome doesn't. And we can test that out here. Let's go to filter font family. So, where is that showing up highlighted? Because that's what's used. What if I add Labo before it, a font that doesn't exist? So yeah, it's showing up highlighting the one that's used, I assume, is why it's highlighted. Would you assume that as well?
Yeah.
And then if you go over to the font tab, it will tell you what font is being used, even if it's not the first in your stack. It's just telling you which one is being used at that, well, whatever you've highlighted. And I guess they do have some controls here. They have the variable control. It just doesn't control all of those other, the weight and spacing and stuff. It just gives you a controller for the variable access.
For the
in
variable
Safari.
access. Yeah.
Which is interesting. You would think that would be like a heavier lift for the inspector to do, because I mean, size and style and weight have been around forever. So you would think those would have been.
Oh, I think I
first.
was looking at the wrong thing earlier. I don't think Chrome has a font inspector at all.
Oh,
And I remember
okay.
a conversation with somebody at Chrome saying, and yeah, I thought it was a little absurd. They were like, well, it's not a tool for designers, it's a tool for developers. And I was like, developers work with fonts. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me as a distinction here. But yeah, I'm glad to see that it is in both Safari and Firefox with a little bit different. Did Firefox have that feature properties? I think that's an interesting thing too, to show which sort of ligatures and et cetera are turned on.
I don't know, but it also shows you, like, if you use a variation, which one, which I really like.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's
this
nice.
is Safari. Let's see.
It'd be interesting if those became editable there, if you could.
That would be great. All right, let's go there. I already had that open, I guess. Fonts used. That's interesting. What about here? So Bookmania. It's not.
Yeah, so they're not showing
me-
that level
well,
of
let me just
detail.
this one. Yeah. Does it down here?
So Firefox has
No.
more detail on the things you can alter, the things you can change. It's got more controls there, but Safari has a little bit more information about your variations settings.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So we should have offered a point system. I don't know.
Are we trying to determine a winner?
Yeah. Like, I feel like if it was just based off of this conversation, it seems like Firefox did almost everything better than anyone.
Yeah.
Or except for Polything had all those cool things. But
yeah. I think there's a lot of things that are really nice across the board. And then Firefox just has a few special touches that I haven't seen show up other places. And I'm not sure why. And some of them have made the jumps. Like Font Inspector was in Firefox first. And then I think it was the same person that implemented it in Safari. I think that's interesting when that happens. Sometimes somebody will implement one place and then put the tool in the other browser as well.
yeah.
But I'm glad when things make that jump. I think Firefox does have the most things that I jump to it specifically for.
Yeah. I agree. Like, if I am inspecting something and I know I'm going to need a very specific thing, I will go right to Firefox. And even though that's not necessarily my default, surprisingly, my default browser is Safari because no one else uses it. And I think people should probably try to test everything in Safari because that's probably what it's on a lot of people's phones. But I feel like I'm going back and forth between a lot of different browsers during the day. always. And so when we thought of doing this, it wasn't necessarily obvious to me other than the Shape Explorer as to like who had what. That was sort of the only one that I knew off the top of my head. The way the different browsers handle color too is different. We're probably too far into this, so maybe we'll have a part 2, because I'd also love to like look at some of the, I mean, it's probably pretty same, but like some of the newer CSS features, you can see
Right.
the layers are often shown, like, or it will show you like what layer it is if you're using layers. And then same with containers, it'll show you like this is a container, it's an inline size container.
Yeah,
whatnot,
which container is being measured.
Yeah.
I think that might be in most of the browsers, but yeah, we'd have to do a follow-up.
Yeah. So if you want to hear more about additional browser inspecting tools that we didn't get into, please let us know. And we're going to wrap this show up. Is there anything we missed or anything else we should talk about before we close out today? I think we're good. Yeah, there's only like 1 week left in the early bird registration for our CSS early odd bird registration. You don't have to be an odd bird to register. Yeah, I just have to throw in the odd there. If you say bird, I think it's in my contract.
It's a video course, although the full transcripts are there, article format, all the slides are there. So you can go through it at your own pace, text or video. And it's called POETIC CSS, and it's thinking about how CSS works and trying to understand it as a systemic language that we can learn to work with. So yeah, courses.oddbird.net. Early bird registration is there with the first module, and more modules coming soon.
We'd love your feedback.
Yeah.
I think it's fabulous, but Miriam's so tired of hearing me say all that. So it'd be great to have someone else let us know how their experience is with the course. We built the whole platform ourselves because everyone started suggesting a few different tools, and at Oddbird, that's almost not an option. It's like, no, we gotta build a whole tool for the tool. So that's our style.
Yeah, well, I already had all of my slide deck flow in an 11D tool that we built internally. So it was like, well, if we just add payments to that, we have a platform, right?
Is that what we did? We just added payments, right? Yeah. Okay. That's felt like a few more steps, but
yeah. Well, adding payments to a static site is not the simplest.
Yeah. No,
quick solution, but it works.
Customize it however we'd like. And if you have taken the course, it would be great to hear your feedback on all the fun features that we've included. If you'd like to find out more information about the show, we will be posting show notes soonish at oddbird.net/winging it. We have an odd newsletter, oddbird.net/odd news. Couldn't just be news. It has to be odd news. Thank you. Like and subscribe if you liked what you saw today. Tell your friends. Sharing is caring. And remember, best practice is a conversation. So let's keep talking. Thanks, Miriam.
Yeah, thank you.